Right, the question has been raised many times about painting greens, as in a landscape. How do you manage to avoid getting just great dollops of green? Okay, well, there's a number of ways of doing this. Pick a different subject, that's one way. But also you need to differentiate between your greens. Now, what I've done here is I've put down a really pale sky and a really pale sort of green base, and I'm going to build on that. So I have got here ultramarine blue, sorry, there's a Bruno about, ultramarine blue and lemon yellow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hills in the distance. Okay, now I'm going to take a bit of the lemon and add some blue, a bit more blue, and I think I'm going to sneeze. So let's have a distant I did, excuse me, a distant landscape line. Just take more water. I want it really, really pale. And remember, blues recede, okay? And I'm just letting that fade out. Okay, right, so that is your furthest away. Now, if you want to be really picky about it, you could add a little bit of alizarin to give it that slightly purpley hue, and that will push it away even more. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Nicola, you just added red, and you said that blues recede. Yeah, but that purpley tinge can help you. And remember, you've got atmospheric perspective to play with as well. Now, I'm fading that down because when you have mountains or hills, what you get is atmosphere, mist, heavy cloud with moisturizer. Sorry, it's been one of those days. When you have humidity, that's what I'm trying to say, humidity in the air, it's heavy, it drops. That's why you get these mists on the ground. In fact, that's rather nice, I like that. So I'm just going to let that dry off. Right, I am now going back. This is a number 8 for anybody who's interested. I'm now going to go back and start to bring the foreground forwards. So I'm adding to this puddle I already made a bit more lemon yellow and a bit more ultramarine. And I need a scrap of paper, as always. That's better. Okay, and I'm going to bring the next layer in. And again, I'm just pulling it down. In fact, that is a little bit too green in comparison to. You always hear me talk about in comparison to. Don't want it quite as predictable as that. And again, pulling it down and let that dry off. In fact, what I will do, just to get a bit of texture in this, is just damp a bit off. Okay, now let's do a bit more. Slightly darker. And you see how that is coming towards you, and again bringing that down. And I'm going to just take some water and just bring that down a bit more. Now, That wasn't quite dry, so there's been a bit of bleeding going there, but we can rectify that. Let's just get a bit of texture in that. We can wait till that has dried thoroughly and then just tidying it up. So can you see the lovely graduation in colour that you've got there, coming along very nicely already? Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come forward, I'm going to leave a gap so that can dry off. I'm going to mix a bigger puddle of green. Bit more blue, I think. Okay. And I'm going to start to make... Oh, that's not very dry, is it, Nicola? Never mind. It's got a hair. Come here. Naughty little hair. Now I'm coming down onto the drier paper. You can see how that is now staying quite nicely where I'm putting it. Very well behaved marks this morning. It's May the, what is it? Oh, I don't know. But it's been pouring with rain here. Not nice at all. We even had thunder this morning. Okay, so these are deciduous trees, okay. Let's have a little clump there. Just taking the excess moisture off my brush there, just to soften some of these marks out. Okay, now I'm going to take some of that puddle there that's more blue than anything, and I'm going to put in the odd cypress. So I'm changing the shape. I don't actually like this straight row. I would make it more varied, but I'm just doing this as a demo for you. And we could have, actually we could have another one. Let's have one behind there. Note how I'm using the brush, leaving gaps. Rinse my brush off, excess water, go back to the green, which is starting to, the water, excuse me, the water is starting to evaporate a little bit. Now I have the fancy for a slight, very slight line of, I don't know, trees or something going along there. Just took water there. And now I'm thinking about it. But it's not every mark. Remember, the brain will fill in the gaps. And now I'm thinking about it. Let's bring in another bit of breakup in the landscape there. Now look, can you see all those different greens? Okay. It's alizarin, no, it's lemon yellow, ultramarine, and I did put a touch, a pinch you know, like a pinch of salt of alizarin in there. Okay, now in order to give me a bit of something to work with, I've got some brown something or other lurking over here. That will do. Nice point on this brush. These are from those nice people, Zen Art. They sent me some brushes to try. They do ship worldwide if you are interested. Sometimes you get these cypress, there are so many different varieties, as you know, that do break up a bit, and some of the boughs get really heavy and they sort of break away from the main. I don't mean break off, but just don't stay in the nice tidy clump. This is quite mindful on a wet Monday morning. And you could, if you want to just make it a bit more varied there. It's rather nice actually. Right, okay, now we've got some field or something here, so let's take more lemon and make it a brighter green, and let's just bring some foreground down. Just push that up a bit so it blends in. Now I want to go back and tidy up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking a wet brush and just pushing a bit there to tidy up. And we will have another line there. Sure what that is. I mean, let's face it, when you're looking at things in a distance, you can't always make out what it is. Now, if you look at that, you can say, yeah, I can see that's a landscape, and you've got different hues, different colours. Now, what we could do is a little bit of, sorry if you can hear some whirling in the back, it's my washing machine. Bit of yellow ochre. And always thinking about making marks that matter and lifting off as much as putting down. Now, coming to the foreground, you can do what you like. I mean, you could put a building in to break it up. You could do all sorts of things really, it's up to you. Let's just see if we can tidy up that a bit more there. I'm still got workmen here. In fact, if you could look at what I'm looking at, you'd probably be horrified. But just come in and focus, get on with it. Right, okay. So we've got some quite nice things going on there. Now, let's play a bit more with the foreground. Let's just say, okay, this is quite nice, bright. The sun could be coming down there, I don't know. Whatever you like. But what I'm doing is I'm looking back, I'm looking forward, I'm looking down here. It's calibrating all the time, checking what's going on. Now, I don't like that fuzziness there, so let's just see if we can. It's still really rather damp, but never mind, I'll carry on. Now, let's put a bit of the darker green underneath. So they're just not flat blobs of green. Okay, now I need some more ultramarine. And a bit too wet there. Let's come in this side. Oh, it's a bit wet as well. But let's have another tree coming forward here. And see how much brighter and more intense that is. Go back, scoop up some of this browny colour. It's my raw umber. I don't know, what do you want? Do you want grass at the front? Do you want cows grazing? I don't know. As I say, this is just a demo piece. Now, it is a tricky subject because you've got lots of greens, as we've talked about. A lot of green is a lot of green. But if you can break it up with... even if it's not there, remember, you don't have to be a slave to a photograph. Let us, for example, say, okay, let's put in a bit of a fence. And you could have your fence going off at an angle, and that breaks up even more. You could put a building in. And some of these fences in parklands or whatever lands, I mean, I don't know what you've got where you are, that they can be sort of broken and not a bit higgledy-piggledy. And you could have just patches of, oh, it's far too bright, dirt. So I hope that helps you with working with your greens. Now, you will notice that I've stuck to those colours. Don't change horses in midstream and suddenly go from ultramarine to cobalt or ultramarine to indigo. Indigo's a bit of a bully anyway. Or this is, sorry, I lied, that's cadmium, not yellow. Yeah, cadmium yellow, I do apologise. Don't suddenly go from that to Naples or to lemon. Keep your colours consistent, then you'll get that cohesion. So I hope that helps you a little bit with your greens. Experiment, and enjoy the play.